would either have to resign or be fired. Kash is a brilliant lawyer, investigator, and America First fighter, Trump wrote, who played a pivotal role in uncovering the Russia hoax. Some Republicans applauded the pick.
I think Kash Patel is a very strong nominee to take on the partisan corruption in the FBI.
But Iowa's Chuck Grassley, who is set to chair the Senate Judiciary Committee next year and will run the confirmation hearings, was more cautious, saying Kash Patel must prove to Congress.
I think there's something really funny about Chuck Grassley having this position. It's like the Dianne Feinstein pick of the Republican Party. It's very cool to give this guy an entire committee to lead when he's like barely sentient, barely alive. Chuck Grassley is, let's see, 91 years old, ladies and gentlemen. 91 years young.
Congress. He will reform and restore public trust in
your PSA appearance convinced the liberal to be a fan. Okay, well, let's watch this and then we'll look at that.
Traditionally, candidates to lead the FBI are viewed as apolitical, but Patel was an active promoter of Trump's false stolen election claims, even when he was working at the Department of Defense.
Kash Patel's only qualification is because he agrees with Donald Trump that the Department of Justice should serve to punish, lock up, and intimidate Donald Trump's political opponents.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the shit that this man did. Kash Patel sold an mRNA detox, reverse the vaccine, get healthy with Warrior Essentials. He sold on True Social like anti-vax pill that would undo the impact of the vaccine, which of course is bullshit, but it's still pretty funny. Let's find out more about the Warrior Essentials LLC mRNA detox vaccine reversal pills. Our likely next FBI director, Kash Patel, has promoted on True Social with his own URL/promo code SPIKEGANGSTERS. The link he posted goes to the Warrior Essentials website with the coupon code SPIKE. Warrior Essentials is owned by a couple who had a multi-level marketing business based on probiotic chocolate and a keto pill business, which was named in a class action lawsuit. Bill Barr said in his own book that he was insane. Bill Barr talks about thwarting Trump's attempt to make Kash Patel the deputy FBI director, an idea he says showed a shocking detachment from reality. I categorically oppose making Patel a deputy FBI director. I told Mark Meadows it would happen over my dead body. Furthermore, Patel had virtually no experience that would qualify him to serve at the highest level of the world's preeminent law enforcement agency. The very idea of moving Patel into a role like this showed a shocking detachment from reality. Now, the funny part about it is that, I mean, the FBI. But having said that, it's going to get even worse. But let's see. Oh, here's a clip of him saying he's going to go after the media. Democracy Now! Covered it as well. He is going to use the FBI to go after all of Trump's enemies.
Go out and find the conspirators, not just in government, but in the media. Yes, we're going to come after the people in the media who lied about American citizens, who helped Joe Biden rig presidential elections. We're going to come after you. Whether it's criminally or civilly, we'll figure that out. But yeah, we're putting you all on notice. And Steve, this is why they hate us. This is why we're tyrannical. This is why we're dictators, because we're actually going to use the Constitution to prosecute them for crimes they said we have always been guilty of, but never have.
And this is Kash Patel speaking on the Sean Ryan show in September.
The FBI's footprint has gotten so freaking big, and the biggest problem the FBI has come out of its intel shops. I'd break that component out of it. I'd shut down the FBI Hoover building on day one and reopening the next day as a museum of the deep state. And I take the 7,000 employees that work in that building and send them across America to chase down criminals. Go be cops. You're cops. Go be cops. Go chase down murderers and rapists and drug dealers and violent offenders. What do you need 7,000 people there for? Same thing with DOJ. What are all these people doing here? Looking for their next government promotion, looking for their next fancy government title, looking for their parachute out of government. So while you're bringing in the right people, you also have to shrink government.
So again, that's Kash Patel. When President Trump wanted to make him deputy director of the FBI in his first administration, the Attorney General Bill Barr said over my. The
problem is not what they say. The problem is what they do, chat. Never forget, they can present a reasonable position. It's more so about what they signal that they're going to do. This is something you have to remember. They'll never be like, yeah, we're going to go after political enemies. They're going to try to couch it within a reasonable statement.
Yes, he did. Bill Barr, of all people, said the guy was completely unqualified. It was detached from reality to try and put him in the FBI. And he said, over my dead body, Gina Haspel, who was director of the CIA in December 2020 during Trump's lame duck when Trump tried to appoint Kash Patel to deputy director of the CIA. She threatened to resign, and Mike Pence had to get involved and block that. So this is not some kind of liberal whining about Kash Patel. Prominent conservatives at the time said, no way, this guy is completely unqualified. And you played that clip from the War Room, from the Steve Bannon show. I think that's from December 2023.
Dude, every Republican has crazy eyes. I don't know how. Every single Republican, dude, there's just something spiritually wrong with these motherfuckers, man.
He put us on notice, he says in that clip. We're putting you on notice. Well, we're on notice. In fact, I've been warning about Kash Patel since 2022, when I was at MSNBC, and I predicted that Trump would make him FBI director and he would go after the media. He's making it very clear. He wants to prosecute journalists. In another time and era, Amy, those words would be chilling. Those words would disqualify him from the running. But of course, Republican senators mostly will fall in line. We'll see if the Murkowskis and the Susan Collinses and Mitch McConnell, whether they'll push back in the way they did on Matt Gaetz. He's a deeply dangerous nominee. I would argue that clip you played from the Bannon War Room show makes him perhaps the most dangerous nominee so far, because he's open about the fact that he wants to use the power of the state to crush Donald Trump's opponents. He's a sycophant. He's a bag carrier. He literally wrote a children's book about King Donald Trump. That's how sycophantic he is. And I would say to some of the progressives maybe watching your show this morning, Amy Goodman, who say, well, you know what? The FBI does need reform. We on the left don't like the FBI. We think Kash Patel should go break it up. Well, look, you could not like the FBI for good reason. But the only reason Kash Patel and the Republicans don't like the FBI is because the FBI investigated Donald Trump over ties to Russia, and because the FBI
He's right.
went to Mar-a-Lago and searched his home for stolen classified documents, which he was keeping against the law.
What leftists are saying that? I would caution people against, like, maybe not celebrating this decision or anything, but like, that's why I was saying, we understand what Kash Patel's purpose is, but why the would you ever be a fan of the FBI? I'm not a fan of the FBI. So when you hear a guy say like, oh, I'm gonna break the FBI piece by piece and make them fight crime, instead, you're like, okay, that sounds reasonable. But he's just not gonna actually do that. He's just gonna sick the FBI on, Donald Trump's enemies. Anyway, we got the 5, but here, let's watch CNN.
The FBI's footprint has gotten so freaking big.
Already has some controversial ideas for overhauling the Bureau.
I'd shut down the FBI Hoover building on day one.
We heard this
Claims
already.
is made of journalists, big tech, elected leaders, and senior government bureaucrats.
And our biggest enemy against that truth is the deep state. And we are on a mission to annihilate the deep state.
He's also shown a taste for retribution, including over false claims of 2020 election fraud.
We will go out and find the conspirators, not just in government, but in the media. Yes, we're going to come after the people in the media who lied about American citizens, who helped Joe Biden rig presidential elections. We're going to come after you. Whether it's criminally or civilly, we'll figure that out.
He's been a public defender and a federal prosecutor in the Justice Department's National Security Division. During the first Trump term, he worked on the National Security Council and then as chief of staff to the acting defense secretary.
We're blessed by God to have Donald Trump be our juggernaut of justice, to be our leader, to be our continued warrior in the arena.
Patel defended Trump against the charges he faced in the now dropped classified documents case.
I cannot stand how annoying his outfits are, bro. I can't stand how these carry themselves, bro. I hate it. Like, everything else aside, these are straight up the people that you avoid when you see out in broad daylight, the people that you don't want to make eye contact with. Now they're in the positions of power. Every single person that Donald Trump has chosen to lead any of these agencies literally has the vibes where you cannot leave your drink around them without covering it. I don't know how else to describe. I mean, and it's understandable that you have that feeling when you got the likes of Pete Hegseth and but like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, there's something so weird, even on the aesthetics front, where you're like, why are you dressed like that? I'm sorry, maybe this is too hyper-focused on a random, nonsensical, aesthetic-focused position, but I can't stand the way these carry themselves, bro. From King Donald kids books to pills claiming the reverse COVID vaccine, Kash Patel's MAGA merch ventures. He's a MAGA merch guy. Like, think about the most insane person that never left your hometown after high school and got arrested for drunk driving like 8 times. Now think about that person's family business. It's a Trump store. Now that guy runs the FBI! This motherfucker wears the cash pin everywhere he goes, bro. How the do we go from, lol, look at these guys that like get the MAGA rap on their pickup trucks, to being like, that guy runs the Department of Transportation now. We're putting MAGA raps on every bus. Patel penned 3 children's books, dude. That's like disqualifying. As a part of the plot against the King trilogy, featuring himself as a wizard called the Distinguished Discoverer, defending King Donald from villains. The 3-man villains are Hillary Quinton, Sleepy Joe, and Kamala. The first installment, which Patel called the first ever children's Russiagate book. Bro, I'm sorry, you need to be institutionalized if you say these words. Like, if you say these words in succession, hey, I created the first ever children's Russiagate book. It doesn't matter if you're a liberal or Republican, you need to go to a mental asylum immediately. It follows a story the FBI started investigating Trump's 2016 campaign of alleged ties with the Kremlin based on the Steele dossier. The blurb reads that it's a fantastical retelling of Hillary's horrible plot against Trump and the whole family. Patel also authors 2023 memoir Government Gangsters, where he called for a purge of the government employees who undermine the president's agenda. Trump hailed Patel's memoir as a blueprint to take back the White House, according to promotional endorsements. His other ventures include the Cash Foundation, which is set up to provide legal defense funds for whistleblowers, according to his website. The organization came under scrutiny last year after Patel paid the legal fees for 2 Republican House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan witnesses in his bid to prove the federal government had been weaponized against conservatives. The charity store also includes a suite of merchandise from Patel's Cash brand, including playing cards of himself as the King and Hillary Clinton as the Joker, and apparel with Trump's hair photoshopped on a Punisher skull in a range called Orange Man Black. According to tax filings for 2023, the charity's revenues rose to $1.3 million last year. This is an endlessly fortuitous grip. Like, you can be this much of a dumbass and still make like a decent amount of money. Meritocracy is real. Yeah, if your only measure of success is how hard you can ride Trump's dick, yes, Kash Patel would be a champion. The former lawyer is also on the board of Trump's media and technology group, which owns the president-elect's social media platform Truth Social. He reportedly had a consulting contract with the company paying him 120 grand a year. Patel also helped produce the song Justice for All. Oh my God, he did the Justice for All song. It's from the January 6th choir. Here's that Orange Man Black shirt. Stop. Dude, god damn, this country is so cooked, dude. It's in the pooper. The country is in the dumps. The website that he operates is called basedapparel.com. Oh my God. This guy is gonna run the FBI, chat. Here are the playing cards. Government Gangsters playing cards. Oh God. So there's a different card for Trump, and that's just T? So what is T then? What is that a substitute for? I can't explain to you, it's just my disdain for people like this, but it just legitimately feels like we went from being governed by a dude with a mental disability, dementia, to an entire cabinet full of people with varying degrees of mental disabilities. I just don't see this playing out fine in any capacity whatsoever. Patel went on a Nazis podcast. Maybe someone should ask Patel about all the appearances he made on the program hosted by Jew-hating, Hitler-loving extremist conspiracy theorist Stu Peters. They don't give a dude. This is also the other aspect of a lot of these institutions basically undermining the severity and how damning of an accusation it is when you call someone an anti-Semite by constantly conflating criticism of Israel, which is like a valid position that many Americans and many people in the Western world hold. Now, when you go, this guy's a neo-Nazi who hates Jewish people, people will just be like, oh yeah, you say that about everybody. Well, it's valid for this guy. I hate this so much. I don't even know who this fucking guy is, you know? Kash Patel is pro-Israel, yes. I don't think anybody gives a shit about him linking up with anti-Semites and shit. Has the ADL issued a statement or this? Or any of the other establishment conservative U.S. Jewish community orgs? Or are they too busy policing Rashida Tlaib's criticisms of Israel? It is pretty sad, but this is just the next 4 years, man. This is just the next 4 years.
Jessica, how do you see Kash Patel?
The good news is he is not being accused of having sex with a minor. So the bar. We're up here, so that's good. He also, in good news, just put his enemies list out there. It's in his book, Government Gangsters. His vision for reforming the FBI, I guess, is just being angry at people who worked for Barack Obama and Republicans who are mean to Trump.
Not a bad place to start.
The good news is he hasn't like tried to fuck a minor, but we also don't know. This Kash Patel interview is a banger. We're gonna watch a man who used to be like a conspiracy guy going on the Joe Rogan Experience as now the director of the FBI. Yeah, look at this headline. Kash Patel says he never promoted QAnon. Here are all the times he did. Kash Patel helped keep the QAnon movement alive on True Social, interacting with the Q accounts, appearing on QAnon podcasts, and signing his children's books with a QAnon catchphrase.
Let's just get to it because I know it's on people's minds. Epstein, right?
I love Kash Patel because he just always looks like he's up to no good. Like he's so high strung, like down to his fucking hairstyle that like he always looks like he's hiding something, dude. Like he could be telling you about how he made his coffee this morning and you'd be like, dude, there's something off about the story. Like, did you put crack in the fucking coffee? Why do you look this way? You look so manic all the time, dude. He's always like, yeah, I'm not hiding the secrets about Jeffrey Epstein. He definitely killed himself, Joe. Believe me, he fucking killed himself. It's not weird that I look like I put my finger in a electric socket and zapped my hair this way. That's just normal hair. That's the cool hairstyle of a cryptocurrency boss, Joe. Believe me. It's the eyes and the hair, dude. Yeah, of course. Who could forget his government headshot? The classic, can we take another one? I wasn't ready. I was not ready for that shot. Let's do another one, please. Who is he looking at? Where is he looking? My soul. He looks like he's got x-ray vision and he's looking at my insides, dude. You're just making fun of someone with cross eyes? Is he even cross-eyed? What the f are you talking about? I guess he is a little bit cross-eyed. I didn't even notice that. I haven't even noticed that he was cross-eyed because he's like so locked in.
20 years ago, or whenever it was, 2006, 7, 8, Epstein gets his sweetheart plea deal, right? Right. After committing the most horrific crimes on planet Earth.
Yeah, who's the one who gave him a sweetheart plea deal? Oh, that's right. Trump's, at the time, labor secretary, Alexander Acosta, back when he was an upstart prosecutor in Florida. That's right. Nothing suspicious there, Joe. Remember, I used to be a conspiracy guy until I became a part of the conspiracy.
There's a problem.